Hello everyone, I'm meteorologist Charlie Ironmonger. Thank you so much for joining me today for your noon news and weather update from the First Alert Desk. Now we've got news out of Wayne County where a woman is now facing 7 felony counts after distributing nude images of a Camp Lejeune Marine. Now, Wayne County deputies have charged Nevaeh Moses with 7 felony counts of disclosure of private images on an adult. Deputies say the NCIS provided them with the information that the Marine met the 18-year-old woman on social media and traveled to Goldsboro for 2 dates. They said that after an argument, nude images of the Marine were sent to several of his friends. Warrants say it happened on July 15th. Now, deputies say that Moses admitted to sending the photos and was released after posting a $25,000 unsecured bond. And now in happier news, we want to turn our attention to the rescue of a baby sea turtle along the Carolina coast, specifically Kill Devil Hills area. This is the picture of the baby sea turtle. Now they followed guidance from the Network for Endangered Sea Turtles as they assisted it back into the ocean. Now a tiny turtle was placed into a bucket with damp sand so that it could rest. After about 10-15 minutes, they swam it out past the shore break and released it back into the ocean. A Facebook post from the town of Kill Devil Hills shared the story with a message about resilience and compassion. For more on that, you can read it over on our website, WITN.com. But again, good news there in that the baby sea turtle again was saved and rescued. Of course, we do want to highlight your weather forecast. What's it looking like out there for the baby sea turtle as it makes its way back into the big blue? Well, it's got a little bit of some rain off the coast of Kill Devil Hills right now. Certainly, maybe sea turtle hopefully is not swimming at the surface and feeling those rain showers. We've got a little bit more rain set up further back towards the west near I-95 across Johnston County. That seems to be the place that's receiving the most rain, at least in this radar imagery. Let's zoom it in a little bit closer. Again, we had some showers rolling across parts of Duplin County earlier, and we still have some kind of near Highway 117 there, State Route 117. A few showers coming down. Again, LaGrange has seen a few showers and maybe some light drops. I don't want to call them downpours because that's really not what they are. These are very light, isolated little spot showers that are just kind of coming out of a very saturated atmosphere. It's saturated in terms of cloud cover and moisture up above. Now down at ground level, we're actually looking fairly mild. Dew points right now ranging in the low to mid 70s, which is usually our a little bit below our seasonal average for this time of year. So again, trending drier when you look at statistical averages, but again, things are still going to be wet for today thanks to an area of low pressure that's moving through the east. Now, over the next few hours, we'll continue with this pattern of light scattered showers around eastern North Carolina, going quiet later on tonight. A few coastal showers will remain in the forecast, but early tomorrow morning looking a little bit drier than what we'll see in the afternoon. Better opportunity for perhaps maybe a few thunderstorms tomorrow afternoon as that low reaches the coast and gets a little bit more moisture injection into that low, which of course will lead to heavier rainfall rates for some, at least those picking up those rain showers. Now by Friday evening, again, we start to see those rain showers wane a little bit for Saturday morning, starting out mostly sunny for everyone watching on the western side of Highway 17. Everyone on the east side of Highway 17 going to have a better opportunity for not just cloud cover through the day, but even a possibility of some rain showers thanks to a warm front that's going to be moving in from the south, which again is why some of our southern communities will be a little bit more exposed to cloud cover and rain as we kick off the weekend than more inland areas. Current air temperatures right now reading in the mid to upper 70s. A few of us getting into the low 80s already. New Bern and Beaufort both sitting at 80 degrees, 81 in Stumpy Point, 82 in Hatteras. Oriental and Jacksonville right now close at 79 degrees, as is Swan Quarter. We've got 77 showing up through Williamston, Manteo, and Greenville, 78 in Washington, 75 through Kinston, along with Kenansville and Plymouth. Overall, a pretty mild day temperature-wise, but humidity again has made a comeback from where we were earlier in the week when we were looking at dew points in the 50s. Now those dew points are reading more in the really low to mid 70s, which again is near our seasonal norm. Now winds out of the northeast helping keep that humidity a little bit lower than our seasonal average, but you may not notice it all that much. You're going to notice the cooler air temperatures though, that is for sure. Later on this afternoon, highs peaking in the low 80s, anywhere between around 79 to about 82 degrees is where I anticipate most of eastern North Carolina will end up as highs for today. Later on in the evening, again dropping down into the low 70s as we approach midnight. Northeasterly wind will hold at around a 3 to 6 mile per hour breeze once we get past sunset. Now for tomorrow morning, starting out yet again in the low 70s, warming up into the, I would say, upper 70s. Some areas will sneak into the low 80s at times. But again, those of you watching a little bit closer to the water will stay cooler thanks to the thicker cloud cover that will be present. Now we'll see more sun breaks coming in Friday evening, and that will translate to a little bit more sunshine on Saturday, more sunshine than on Sunday. And then as we get into next week, we get back into a classic eastern North Carolina summertime pattern. Air temperatures are going to be warmer, certainly getting, some would say, hot outside once we reach the low 90s on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. But normal for this time of year, again, is still the upper 80s to low 90s. So anywhere between around 88 to around 93 degrees is where we should be this time of year in terms of daytime highs. Overnight lows usually sit around the mid 70s, anywhere between around 74, 76, 77 degrees. That's where we anticipate most of our overnight lows to sit. So again, for the next several days, we're going to be below average in terms of your overnight lows, which again helps keep humidity down. That is a very encouraging sight. Of course, we'll get back into a more normal pattern coming up next week. But for now, Saturday night, overnight lows in the upper 60s. Yes, please. Wow, that's all we have time for today's noon news and weather update from the First Alert Desk. I want to thank you all so much for joining me. We'll be back with more news and weather coming up at the top of the hour. Until then, I hope you all have a fantastic Thursday.
This hour of the WITN First Alert Desk is sponsored by Supreme Choice.